Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel today. I'm going to be recapping Misfits 003. Let's get into it. Some of the fights that we missed were Hasim Rahman Jr. vs. Vitor Belfort, which was going to be the main event, but the reason why they cancelled the fight is because Vitor had COVID days before the fight. Fangs vs. Barbie. The reason why this fight got cancelled is because Fangs had license issues. This was the original card before changes. This was the card that went ahead. Now it's time to rank the fights that went ahead. Number 7 for me is Ice Poseidon vs. Brandon Buckingham. Now for me, this was an easy fight for Brandon because he destroyed Ice Poseidon. But Ice Poseidon was literally trolling the entire fight. Overall good fight and good knockout. Number 6 for me is FaZe Temper vs. Overflow. This fight really didn't go the distance because Temper destroyed him. And it was a nice comeback for Temper. Overall great knockout. Number 5 for me is King Kenny vs. DK Money. This fight didn't go for that long because Kenny knocked out DK Money in the first round. But what I saw a good fight. And both of them throwing some great punches. It just didn't go in DK Money's favor. Number 4 for me is Minicon vs. Knick Knack Paddywhack. I think this was really good to heavyweights throwing banger after banger. I think Nick did a good job with how much training he had. And then Minicon has already had a fight, so he understands the ways, but still very decent fight. Number 3 for me is Josh Bruckner vs. Chase Demore. This fight was very entertaining even though Chase was basically fighting off his demons the entire fight and not landing clear shots some parts of the fight. And it was also nice to see Josh Bruckner back in the ring, and he did really good. Number 2 for me is Hasim Rahman Jr. vs. Greg Hardy. I really enjoyed this fight. A little disappointing Hasim didn't win, but he did fight someone who was like 100 kilograms more than him, which is insane. But this fight was very exciting to watch, both of them throwing explosive shots 24/7. It looked beautiful. Number 1 for me is Dean the Great vs. Waleed Sharks, who was the main event, and it was an insane match. Both of them just kept knocking each other down, so we had no idea who would win, but Dean did take the victory. But they are getting a rematch at the Prime card, which I am very excited about. Then we are going to rank the fighters. Let's get into it. Number 14 for me is Overflow. I really didn't see much from Overflow because he got knocked out by FaZe Temper very easily. And yeah, that is really about it because Overflow didn't do the great. But props for stepping in the ring. Number 13 for me is Ice Poseidon. The only thing that Ice Poseidon did in the fight was just be a joker through round 1. Because that is how long it lasted. But yeah, he did throw punches that looked like some of them landed, and that is really about it. Number 12 for me is DK Money. I think that DK Money threw some good punches but did get obliterated by King Kenny. Overall with this fight for him, I was not his night. Number 11 for me is Knick Knack Paddywhack. I think that he really threw some good punches but mostly got pieced up by Minicon most of the fight, but he did well and also give him props for stepping in the ring. Number 10 for me is Chase Demore. I think that Chase was just fighting his demons the entire fight, throwing missed shots. You could see clearly. But I think he gave his best shot and didn't do it, but he tried to be Josh Bruckner but did lose. Number 9 for me is Brandon Buckingham. I think Brandon did extremely well against Ice Poseidon, but yeah, he did very well. And did knock him out, and it was a clean knockout as well, which goes down in my books. Number 8 for me is Minicon. I think Minicon did a good job again. Knick Knack Paddywhack. He didn't win by knockout, just a technical knockout, but I really enjoyed what Minicon got to show. And it was just also nice to see him back in the ring. Number 7 for me is Hasim Rahman Jr. I really enjoyed Hasim in the ring. He did lose, but it was just an amazing match that I had to put him high up on the list. And also he fought someone who is 100 kilograms bigger than him, so I also give him respect for that. Number 6 for me is King Kenny. I really enjoyed Kenny in this fight. He just knocked DK Money out so clean. I think that he is a fighter that will climb up on my list. And really just pieced up DK Money so well. Number 5 for me is FaZe Temper. He was so good in this fight compared to his slim fight where he lost. And he did very good against Overflow and did knock him out in the first round, and it was so clean. Number 4 for me is Greg Hardy. Greg was insane in this fight. I was really backing Hasim to win, but Greg just pieced up Hasim very well. And he looked like a machine in the fight. Number 3 is Josh Bruckner. I think Josh really did well piecing up Chase Demore and made him look bad even though he is not. I think Josh was amazing in this fight, and it was also amazing to see him back in the ring. Number 2 for me is Waleed Sharks. I think Waleed did amazing in his fight with Dean the Great. And he knocked Dean down a few times. I thought he was going to win, but he did lose, unfortunately. But I am excited to see his redemption against Dean again on Sunday on the Prime card. Number 1 for me is Dean the Great. I think Dean really worked well in this fight and showed more of his skills. And he did very good with Waleed and knocked him down a few times. And all of the knockouts were beautiful. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more content coming soon.